Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Let's Slice Data with Saurabh. As you know that I have already created one video on oil and gas domain, that how to get some info regarding that. Today I'm going to build one more video on that. It is basically will tell you about the oil and gas documentation from where you can see that. So there are so many websites from where you will get the data easily and you can understand the oil and gas industry. Unless you will go through those documents, you will not understand the oil and gas data. And the most common, request from the oil and gas industry student is that I'm not able to get the real documents. That okay, where I will get the real documents, the real kind of, where I can see the well header data, master data, or any kind of data basically, and how to get that, and where to see the columns, the data type, the data fields, and everything in oil and gas. Because data quality management is the biggest issue in oil and gas industry. There are several operators, and what they are doing, they are putting their lot of data, and we have to maintain as an oil and gas industry the unique data. The data should be complete, valid, consistent, and everything. So let's say if someone will ask you that, okay, from where you will get this data and how to get that data. And today we'll talk about a bit about well logging as well, why it is important, and what is the aim of geologists and geophysicists, what exactly we are looking for in oil and gas industry, and how the well logging is helping us. So these two things I'm going to cover. So first I will show you something from where you will get the real-time data, the real data basically. So you can see this Kansas Geological Survey. So this is a website. This is a Kansas Geological Survey. Is in US, Kansas state. And there are so many oil wells and everything is there. So from there, you can get free data. It is easily accessible on Google. So if you open the website called Kansas Geological Survey, so you can see all these sedimentary kind of things. I don't know. Okay, if you go a bit down here, you will find this oil and gas wells. Just right click on that and open into a new tab. So once you go to this Kansas Geological Survey and you go to this oil and gas wells, so here you will find a lot of data basically related to that Kansas state. So as I told in my last lecture that the first, the oil well number, basically the API, the first 2 digits represents the state, next 3 digits represent the county, and the next 5 digits represent the, this is called API 10, the next 5 digits represent the well. So first 2 digit state, next to county, and that's that. So if you want to see real-time data, okay, what is the Kansas state data? You are from oil and gas industry and you do not know anything about it, just right click on this and say state production and historical info. So if you go here, in which year, what is the production and how many wells are there? Okay, so you can easily found all this data here. So from 2000 to 2025, this is the current data which is in the Kansas state. So you can see that, okay, how much data is there, how it is growing, how it is decreasing, everything you will find it here. It's very simple. As well as the gas data. So first is the oil data, which is in BBLS, that is barrels. And then the gas data, which is in MCF, cubic feet. So you can easily go through that. So MCF is like 1000 cubic feet is gas measurement, So you can see this particular data. And if you want, you can download this data and you can play around it. Okay. So if I open this in the new tab, so you will see from 1950 to 1959, it is already getting downloaded. So if I go to my download folders, so let me refresh that. So yeah, I think this one is just now downloaded. So you can see here, this is the county. In which county, what is the oil production, how many oil wells are there, what is the gas production, and how many gas wells are there. So oil wells in 1951, 1952, this is the real data, basically the oil and gas data in every county. You can see it here and you can play around it. You can create charts out of it. You can see the trends in that. You can do some data analytics use cases using this particular data from the Kansas Geological Survey. Next one, you can see, don't worry about all these things. You see county production is there, field production is there, gas storage. fields in Kansas, lease production, production by operator. This is all production data is given there. Top 10 oil and gas production. So you can see all these things. Forget about this. Now go to the master list of wells, oil and gas wells. See here, if you go into this particular website, so you can find in the state Kansas, there are so many counties given there. Okay. And if you know anything specific about the section, township, lease, operator, you can search it there. But what I found in the Scott, you can go all the combinations, but I suggest you to go to Scott, because here you will see a lot of data into this. Means you will get a lot of real data and you will get most of the data. So if I say select wells, so it will take me through that website where all the wells are given. See, this is API. As I told you, 15 stands for Kansas, 17 is for Scott, and this is the well number. This is the KB, this is the GL, this is the total depth of the well. This is the wildcat well, which they have drilled. Wildcat is the first well which is drilled in virgin field. What is the spud date? Is 4 December 2013, and then plug date is 17 December. So they have just tested the field that, okay, what is that? But this will give you clear picture about what is the well name, API number, elevation, total depth, field, spud date, plug date, everything you will get it from here. And what is the status right now? See, this is oil producing status. So you can see this well as well. And this is the plugged and abandoned. So this is plugged and abandoned well. You can see it from here. So you have to go to the Kansas. Again, I'm telling you, then you have to go to the oil and gas wells. Then you have to go here and search for the master list of oil and gas wells. And you have to select this. And then you will come here. Let's say I open the first one. If you open the first well, what all data you can see here? See, this is all master data, well master data, basically. It is telling you about the API, the Kansas ID, lease name, well number, original operator, current operator, field, location, latitude, longitude. This all important to, identify a particular well. This is called well master data. So whenever you are working in oil and gas industry, you have to understand this. What is the county? What is the permit date, spud date, completion date? So you can see first we will get the permit in November. Then we have spudded the well, means like first time the drill bit touches the ground. And then completion date, the well is completed. Basically, this is plugged and abandoned well. This is 4,675 depth in fit, I believe. It is all in fit, not in meters. Elevation is 2872 kb. So you can see there is no oil, gas, and water well, because it's no oil, gas, and water barrel. Nothing is coming out. Why? Because it is plugged and abandoned well. We are not producing anything out of it. But it can show you that, okay, what kind of well is that? What is that? So you can see the interactive map here. It's very simple. So if you go here, it can show you the map that, okay, near to this well, how many wells are there? You can easily identify by looking into that. So this is the state of US, and yeah, it's coming up. So this is the well, basically, you can see. This is the API 21008, then the Kansas ID, well type, dry and abandoned, Richie, wildcat, spud date, permit date, completion date, total depth, production farming, formation, and everything is given here, basically. So you can at least get to know about the terminology of this. And one more thing, terminology, right? So I remember that there is one file which I have downloaded, column definition. So this is important. So if you go to this ONG column definition, it can explain about each attribute. So here you can see KID means what, field name means what, lease name, well class, operator name, township direction, subdivision, elevation, Kelly bushing, ground level, drill force. All these definitions are given here. But if you want to know about them more, go and do some Gemini. So Gemini will going to help you. Then this is the permit date, spud date, completion date are here. Plug date of the well is here. Initial production of oil, initial production of gas, IP. So all these things are here. This can give you some more understanding about that. What are the column definition? Then you can easily understand about these things. Okay. Now, what I want to show you, which is important in today's lecture, what I'm going to cover in the second half of this video, that is the well log. Why we need the well log and why we are looking for that. So if you want to see any well log, you can come here and say PDF submitted to KCC. Just right click on that and it will open the well log for you. So here, if you can just rotate this. So this is the dual induction log. This is the well name. This is the field name. This is the county. This is state. This is the real document, guys. 2013 ka real document hai ye. So we have to learn about it. And then this is entire log is given here. Why we are doing this dual induction log? Why are we doing this well logging? That I will cover in my next part in just now, which is coming. Then you can see this is KCC submitted document one more. This is called compensated density neutron log, and it has all the master data in it. And then this is the well log, which geologist basically needs to, understand that, okay, what is the density and all in the formation. So for that, they are using this well logging tool. Now, once you get this, if you go through this, that is great. And if you can try several combinations, right? Here I have told you only about the Scott, but you can do Anderson, you can do Atchison, though anything means like Gary, Franklin, whatever you want. It's a freely available website on internet. So you can understand about oil and gas industry. If you read through all the documentation, trust me, you are going to learn a lot. Now be with me in this. I will cover this quickly. So what is the aim of the geologist and geophysicist? Basically, we are looking for oil and gas, right? So oil and gas, what are the things which we are looking for? So let's say you are entering into the oil and gas industry, or you're working in upstream or anything, in any practice like energy, oil and gas or something. Then you can say that the geologists and geophysicists are looking for the sedimentary rocks, because igneous rocks doesn't contain oil and gas. So we are looking for sedimentary rocks. And what are the examples? Sandstone, limestone, dolomite, all these are the main important rocks which we are looking for, because they contain oil and gas. And these two terms you have to know, that in sedimentary rocks, why we are looking for sedimentary? They are porous, they are permeable. Porosity means what? Is the measure of void space within a rock, which determines is the ability to store fluid. Okay. And then like it is expressed as a percentage of decimal fraction in total rock. Okay, this is fine. Then permeability is a measure of rock's ability to transit fluid through its interconnected pores. So it should have porosity. So you can see this particular diagram here, non-porous, non-permeable rock. You can see it is non-porous and non-permeable. Porosity means what? Space within the rock. So there is no space, and permeability means rock. Permeability means what? Rock's ability to transmit fluid through its interconnected pores. So that is also not here. Here you can see these are porous. It has the space where the oil is stored, but they are not permeable enough to flow. So this is porous and permeable. This is sedimentary rocks. Porosity and permeability is high. Here, these kind of rocks basically we want. And to determine these kind of rocks, first we have to do the well logging inside the borehole, whatever we'll drill in the oil and gas field, basically in the upstream, in the onshore. So this porosity and permeability is important. And for doing the well logging, what we are doing, we are using this tool called sonde. We are lowered into the wellbore. We will put several sensors into that, and we'll put that into the wellbore to understand the properties like electrical resistance, radioactivity, acoustic velocity, which helps engineers and geologists determine the composition of the subsurface rock. What is our aim? We have to understand about the sedimentary rocks, porosity and permeability, potential hydrocarbon reservoirs. So the well data presented in well log, graphical representation of the measured properties in the function of the depth. So well logging is nothing but they are just lowering down a tool into the wellbore, and they will try to understand that what is the electrical resistance, radioactivity, and acoustic velocity. And see, there are several kind of well logs, but I have covered only few important ones. Well logs is what? Well logs, also known as borehole logs, which I have already told you, they provide a continuous detailed record of the physical and chemical properties of the geological formations, because our target is what? Porosity, permeability, and sedimentary rocks. So this is the important part in that. We will put a lot of sensors into that. It's a sonde is a tool, so that it can cover all these physical properties inside the borehole and tell us that, okay, which kind of logs are there. Gamma ray. This is very important log, guys. What is gamma ray? Gamma ray measures the natural radioactivity of the formation. Shales and clay are typically more radioactive than sandstones, limestone, and dolomite. As I told you, our target is sandstone, limestone, and dolomite. So we do this gamma ray log to understand the radioactivity. And if it is low, then it is sandstone, limestone, or dolomite. Otherwise, it is a shale or a clay, so which we do not want. So this will help you to understand the radioactivity of the borehole, basically. Then the resistivity log. Resistivity logs measure the electrical resistivity of the formation. Water-bearing rocks are highly conductive, low resistivity. Okay, hydrocarbon-bearing rocks have high resistivity. So if we do this resistivity log, and we will get the high resistivity, then hydrocarbon bearing rocks are there. So our target is to understand the resistivity. Our target is to understand the radioactivity, so that we can come up to the conclusion that, okay, these rocks are sedimentary rocks and they have oil and gas inside that. Then the porosity logs. So porosity logs are very simple. As I told you, logs measure the porosity of the rock, which is the percentage of rock's volume that is pore space, because otherwise fluid, will not get accumulated into that. In the first slide I have shown you that. Then the density log, neutron log, Sony log, all these kind of logs are helping us to understand the physical properties of the rock. Porous rocks filled with oil fluid have a lower density. Simple. So we need a porous rock, right? Porosity and permeability both are important. Okay, and lower density than the solid rock foundation. So solid rock matrix, if it is there, then it is a higher density, and our target is to make sure that it should be a lower density, then only the oil and gas and water can be there. So this log is called the density log. Neutron log is measure the amount of hydrocarbon in the formation. So see, why are we doing all these kind of logs? We are just combining this data together and to understand that, okay, inside the surface, what kind of oil and gas prospects are there? Because our target is to understand the sedimentary rocks, porosity, and permeability. So these are important to help us that. And then there are some dual induction log, which I have already told you: resistivity, electrical resistivity to underground formation. This measurement helps geologists and engineers identify hydrocarbon bearing zones. So all these kind of logs, basically what they are doing, they are trying to understand the electrical resistivity, the radioactivity, the porosity, so that we can get that oil and gas. That is our main aim. Then applications. So once we do all these kind of logs, what are the applications of that? By combining these different logs, geologists can determine the rock types, whether it is shale stone, shale, or limestone. As I told you, sandstone, limestone, we are looking for. And then formation evaluation to understand the porosity and permeability, reservoir characterization. So all these things we are doing by using these well logs. See, if you're working in IT industry, if you're talking to your customer, and if you will not talk about this particular language, they are not going to listen to you. Correlation. So logs from different wells in a field can be correlated to understand the continuity of the geological layers and lateral extent of a reservoir. That, okay, from where to where the reservoir is, to set up the boundary. Okay, so in this particular, there is one well, then there are several other wells as well. So we will do well logging in all the boreholes and try to understand that, okay, till what the reservoir boundaries are there. Data acquisition, as I told you, logging operations, all these things basically to understand, to get that data and to start doing analysis on that. So log interpretation, petrophysicists and geologists will do that. And the summary is like, well log is a critical link between the rock sample collected from the subsurface and the detailed understanding of the geology and fluid content of a reservoir. So basically, they are the eyes that allow scientists and engineers to see what lies thousands of feet beneath the surface. This is important line, guys. So why they are doing all these kind of logging exercise? To understand that beneath that, what is there. Our target is what? Our target is to understand that whether it is a sedimentary rock in that sandstone, limestone, dolomite, and porosity and permeability should be there. Otherwise, we will not get the oil out of that. Okay, so here you can see that these kind of logs will definitely going to help you. And if you go to this website, you will get a lot of data inside that. So this just I want to show you. Keep sharing with your friends. Keep learning. That is very important, guys. Okay, have a great day. Kindly share and subscribe this to learn more. Thank you. Bye.